I'd like to welcome to the program next Riley Schick. Of course, you might recognize that name from the Regina Thunder or the Regina Rams or just a good old guy from Lumsden, Saskatchewan. Welcome back. Welcome back to Saskatchewan.
Thank you for having me back on the show. I really appreciate it.
Of course. We chatted with you just a couple weeks back before you headed to Texas to participate in the Dream Bowl. I bet you're happy that you made it back to your home province before all of that ice and light dusting of snow hit Texas because, wow, it looked like they were struggling.
Yeah, honestly, didn't really feel like I felt home for that long because when I was down there, I think the highs here were the lows there. So the one morning, I think it was only 5 degrees, and I think it was 5 degrees here. So it wasn't that much of a change in weather, that's for sure.
Did it give you a little bit of a competitive edge there, Riley?
Oh, for sure. I think the one morning, it was probably 5 to like 7 degrees outside and windy and blowing, and all the guys from Florida or guys from down south were like, man, this is crazy. I've never been in something like this in my life. And I was just out there in my shorts and t-shirt and still trying to soak in all the sun, and everybody's saying I'm crazy, but I was just happy to see sun.
Yeah, no kidding. Take the sunshine where you can get it. Maybe talk to us a little bit about being in Texas for the Dream Bowl and having an opportunity to really show your stuff, Riley, especially in a place where, let's be honest, that's football country in Texas, right? It's built into the fabric of their society, much like it is here in Saskatchewan. So kind of run us through what that felt like.
Yeah, going down there in general, getting the invite was a true blessing in its own. A kid coming from Lumsden, Saskatchewan with maybe 2,000 people going to Texas for a football showcase, which is the best place for football. You know, you heard Saskatchewan was the mecca for football, and it was getting compared to Texas. But, you know, you go down there and it's different. Like the practice field we played on was a high school that had seating that was bigger than any high school field I've ever seen. And talking to one of my other buddies, he was down there for a different show, and he said that stadium sat as much as Mosaic did, and it was a high school stadium. Like it's different down there for sure, but all of it in itself was just a true blessing to go down there for sure.
So Riley, as an offensive lineman, how did you do?
I think I did very well. Listening to what my agent has said, everything went very well, and I was able to get some film at guard, which I haven't been able to do pretty much my whole career. I've been locked in at center, but getting that guard film out there for the CFL teams kind of just gets rid of that question mark that's over my head that, oh, can he play other positions? He's only ever played center. So going down there and getting a chance to play guard, especially against tough competition, really played in my favor.
How does the change come about? Do they ask you? Do they approach you? Is it something that you requested?
No. The two guys that they had slotted in at center, they kind of said that they only play center. I was like, well, when I was with the Riders for a little bit, I played guard, so I'm comfortable there too. In practice, I got a couple center reps when I was able to, just filtering in and out. But playing at guard, ended up being a good thing.
Can you take me through the process then, start to finish? You arrive in Texas. You obviously have meetings and practices leading up to the game, and then following the game, are there exit interviews? Are there opportunities for you to learn?
Yeah, so our film got sent out to us just recently, so I can watch that and then be able to send that to teams as well. But got down there on Wednesday, and everything started on Thursday. So Thursday midday, we had a little bit of a combine go on, and our first walkthrough practice. Friday, then we had 2 practices. It was like a training camp 2 a day. Practice in the morning, went back to the hotel, had lunch, practice in the afternoon, had a little bit of meetings. The meetings weren't too intense because the playbook was very basic. They want guys to just be able to go out there and run around, have fun, play football the way that they can play football. The 2 teams aren't trying to out-scheme each other. They're just trying to let players play football, which is really nice. And then Saturday, we had one more practice, and then we got actually a tour of the Cowboys Stadium, which was awesome. That's where the game was held, was at AT&T. So we got to walk through all of the suites. We got to walk through locker rooms. We got to walk through the concourse. We got to look the very top platform down at the stadium and got to learn a bunch of facts. And then on Sunday at noon, we were playing the game.
Did you get to run through the tunnel at AT&T Stadium?
We did. Our team actually got lucky. We were on the side that the Cowboys run through, and we're the only team. They're the only team that runs out on the 50-yard line. So our team got to, well, for walkthroughs, we got to go through there, but through the game, we went through one of the side tunnels. But we're just walking out there for the pregame stuff through the tunnel that they walk through with the big Cowboy star up there is super cool.
Obviously, as a Canadian and University of Regina Ram, Riley Schick, you obviously are accustomed to the Canadian game. You get down to the States and that 1 yard off the ball changes. Does that change the way you had to approach? Does that change anything about your technique?
Yeah, for O-line, I think it's probably the one position other than maybe D-line that it changes a lot of stuff. The hand punch timing's different. How many steps you can get in the ground before contact is different. The speed of which things happen, the game speed is the same, but the speed at which things happen a lot sooner. So you're getting that pass rush a lot sooner. You get into contact a lot sooner. So just the little things like that you have to get used to for sure.
So who would have a bigger an adjustment? A Canadian going to play the American game or an American coming to play the Canadian game?
I'm going to say an American coming to play the Canadian game, because as a Canadian, you watch American football your whole life. When I went down there, most of them didn't know that we do three downs. They didn't know that there's a yard off the ball. They didn't know that we can get a rouge. Like, they know nothing about it. So when you know the rules, you can change how you play towards them. But when they come down here, I think a lot of them, like, they didn't know that we have unlimited motion and stuff like that. Just the little things that you know that they never watched a CFL game in their life.
How would you compare the athleticism between, obviously you're well versed with the U Sports game up here in Canada. So what's the comparison and competition between NCAA and U Sports from your point of view?
I think it's very close. As a Canadian athlete, you kind of always think about the NCAA as like a top tier thing. So you never think it's that close. But even talking to a lot of the guys down there, I think the Power 5 programs or the Power 5, I don't think we compare to those guys. Like Alabama, Georgia, guys like those are still like a little bit of our reach. But guys in like the Midwest Conference, I think it's called, or Mountain West maybe. But like that mid-tier Div 1 NCAA, I think there's a lot of people that could go play NCAA football, but they just don't recruit Canadians for whatever reason that is.
You talked, Riley, a little bit about moving to guard from center. Did you stay on whether it was the right guard or the left guard position? And if so or not, can you explain to people that may be unfamiliar how difficult it is changing positions and what does change for you from center to guard to tackle?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that change. In practice, I got to rep both left guard and right guard with a little bit of center mixed in, and you're looking at different things each time. So as a center, you're looking up and you're going to try and find whichever linebacker you're going to, and you got to point them out, call your double teams. As a guard, you got to go, you're second to the line, so you're not first, so you have to set your feet off the center. And then after that, you have to try and look at what's around the linebackers, where the D-line lined up and stuff like that, and little nuances. At guard, you have a lot more time to look at the D-line and kind of get a read on them. So if they're heavy on their hands, okay, they're going to bring a power move. If they're light on their hands, it could be a twist coming at you. He could be dropping into coverage. There's a lot of things that you get to see at guard that you don't get to see at center, just because of that time crunch. At center, you run up to the line, look at the linebackers, you call out your linebackers, call out your double teams, then you're trying to find the safety to make sure that there's no blitzes coming. Center, you definitely have a short amount of time to look at the D-line and see maybe what he's bringing.
So to put it in context with the Saskatchewan Roughriders and what fascinates me, Travion Tate in the last 12 months has started a game for the Roughriders at right tackle, at left guard, and I'm sure if you let him, he would have played receiver. But when you're going opposite sides, doesn't that change everything with your footwork and hands, depending on what side of that offensive line you're on?
Yeah, you definitely kind of got to be ambidextrous in that way, because when you're on the right-hand side, obviously you throw your right hand first in a pass pro. But when you're on the left side, you got to throw your left hand, which for a lot of people is hard because you do everything with your right hand. The only thing that people really trust themselves to do is drive with their left hand some days. So you kind of got to get used to that. And then once you get used to it, next thing you know, you're right back to the opposite side, and you got to try and get used to that again. And then maybe the next game you're back on the left-hand side. So it is very difficult to get used to going side to side. So if you can do that at a young age, that's definitely a bonus.
So after taking part in the Dream Bowl, would you suggest that you got everything from the experience that you wanted?
Yeah, I'd say so. Pretty much at every practice, there was CFL scouts, NFL scouts, all there watching and taking notes. So I know I saw like the Cowboys, the Ravens, the Colts, the Argonauts were there, Ottawa, the Riders, Calgary, Winnipeg. So it was awesome to see all those scouts and just walk up to them and say hi, your name, and kind of keep them and keep your name in the back of their mind for when the time comes. And then with all the practice and stuff, it's cool to be able to spend time and get to meet guys from NCAA and just get to pick their brain at the little stuff that American football comes with. They've been lifting in gyms that are state of the art since they were 10 years old. And some schools in Canada don't even have a football gym to their own. Lots of guys, when I told them that we lived in a gym that's super small and we share with other teams and there's 10 racks, like they kind of like had shock on their face. So I was like, yeah, like it's gritty in Canada. And I think that just applies to who we are as people.
I imagine that this would have boosted your confidence a little bit heading into the remainder of this CFL offseason, hey?
Yeah, I think it was a good checkpoint too, because kind of right now you are in the dog days of what training is. Like we wake up every morning, we run early in the morning, we lift after work. It is the dog days. So being able to go down there and play football, get to bang around a little bit, definitely gets you out of the mindset.
So what's next in your journey?
I have the regional CFL Combine on March 6th in Waterloo. And then after that, hopefully I'll be able to get upgraded to the National. And the Nationals later in the month. Then the draft is after that.
Do you feel like having gone through that semi-combine process then at the Dream Bowl, an opportunity to prepare yourself for what you need to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Even in our testing or our runnings and stuff right now, the guys who are going to the combine, we have specific stuff that we work on. So it's not just running form anymore. It's how you can get out of your 40 faster. It's how you can stop and go the other way in the 5-10-5. So we have a lot of specific training that we have to do right now. So getting used to that and then actually getting to test it from what my numbers were maybe last year at the end of the season to at the Dream Bowl is able to fix your mindset and say, I am getting progress, not just I'm stagnant all the time, because it does get repetitive a lot.
It's great that we're doing this virtually, because if you were in front of me, I'd fear that maybe you'd go ahead and you'd give me the two-hand block on this question. But just listening to you, this really sounds like this is a challenge and an opportunity for you to prove yourself. Is that the way you approach it? Does anxiety come into this process? Because it's a long one, and obviously you're looking to fulfill a dream.
I've always been like, growing up, I never really got nervous. I was always a big believer that nervousness and excitement have the same feeling in your gut. And it's just which one you tell yourself it is, that's which one you have. So I've always kind of just told myself I'm really excited for the next opportunity, but being able to do this in general is awesome. So just telling myself that I am excited and that I can prove it to myself, because growing up, I never played football till grade 10, and I played 9-man football. And then I never received any scholarships out of high school. I was a walk-on the Regina Thunder, and I started ever since. So I've had a lot of people tell me that I can't do it. When I was playing baseball, said that I was unathletic. I wouldn't make it to the NCAA in baseball and stuff like that. So being able to prove everybody wrong is definitely a big motivator.
What position did you play in baseball?
I was a first baseman pitcher.
Okay, he's got an arm too.
Wow.
A little bit. I like to sling it in practice sometimes when they need me. So
the more you can do, right?
Exactly. Best ability is availability.
So what would you tell yourself if you go back to that grade 12 young man, the young Riley Schick that's there, would you tell him anything at all? Because you look, again, you're a walk-on. right? And I don't want to disparage that because that's an amazing accomplishment for you to believe in yourself and then go ahead and get the coaching staff to believe in you as well. But now you're running out where the Dallas Cowboys run out at AT&T Stadium.
I think this goes for a lot of people. When I finished, I played football in grade 9 when Lumsden had a bantam team for the first year, and we went 0-9 and got slaughtered every game. It was not great. And I looked at my high school football coach and said, "I'm not playing football." And he said, yes, you are. I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I'm going to play football. Sorry to let you down, because he was my neighbor growing up. So all my life, he's like, "You're going to play football and you reach high school." "Yeah, you are." I was finally told him, I was like, "No, I'm not going to play football." So I'd actually tell my grade 10 self that you need to take every opportunity that arises, no matter what it is. It could be working a new job. It could be playing football and playing sports in general. But everything that you do is for a purpose. Playing football obviously got me to where I am now. Playing volleyball has, when I was in high school, helped me with agility and jumping. Baseball helped me with training. That's when I started lifting weights and stuff. So everything that you do is for a reason, and that every sport you also play is helpful. You don't have to just do one sport.
Do you get any contact one-on-one with teams at all? Or is that through your representation? How does the process work? As again, obviously you want to stay, as you mentioned, top of mind to everyone.
It's more through my representation now, but I was hoping at the show to talk to some teams, but our schedules were pretty busy, so it didn't really ever end up coming around to that, sadly. But I was hoping to, but there will be interviews at both combines, I believe. So
I can't imagine. I wouldn't want to be asked some of the questions I've heard about the combine interviews, but
I've heard about some pretty dumb questions.
I've also heard of those ones.
See, so I've just been preparing you throughout the course of the show for your combine interview with as many dumb questions as I can come up with. You're welcome.
This is truly why we invited you on, Riley.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I do want to know, though, in all seriousness, we now have the stage set for the Super Bowl, and I got to get your take on this one. I imagine you've been following along, paying attention. Seahawks, Patriots, who you got and why?
I'm going to go with the Seahawks because the Patriots have had too easy of a schedule, especially in playoffs. They go against the Texans, and they have 4 interceptions, so that's got to be easy. They go against a backup quarterback and Jared Stidham in a snow globe bowl. Like, the Patriots are going to win that. So I think they had the easiest schedule all season, so I think the Seahawks are going to come out and give it to them pretty good.
All right, we'll mark you down for that.
I'm going to put that in ink because I think that's a very great prediction on your part.
Yeah. No, I like that one. I'm also going Seahawks, just mainly because the other co-host of the SportsCage, Barney, is a Patriots fan, if you can't see the Patriots flag behind me here in the studio. So I just got to go against him.
Smart pick.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy. Okay, fresh back from Dallas, Texas, of course, in the Dream Bowl, our lovely guest, Riley Schick, homegrown offensive lineman. Thank you so much for taking the time, Riley. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on again.
Of course, we'll chat in the near future, I'm sure.
Sounds great.